Hey everybody, Price here. Just want to come to you this morning and talk to you a little bit about what's happening in the market and look at what's happening today, a little bit of what's happened in the past, and talk a little bit about the future and what might be. I'm really excited today to be able to share with you the information that I have, and some of that is looking at sales data. And we'll look first at pendings and look at pendings over this year compared to last year. And if we look at back in January of 2023, there were 124 homes for sale. This year in January, we had 86 homes for sale. In mid-July of 2023, we had 137 homes for sale. Mid-July this year, 115 homes for sale. In 2023, as of today, we have 134 pendings. Last year, on October 23rd, we had 128 homes for sale. So when we look at this, see last year, the number of pendings from January through October were relatively flat. They didn't move a whole lot from about 130. This year, we had a really low, a much lower low in January, the start of 86 homes. And then we moved to 115 and now 134. So that trend has really moved up this year, demonstrating kind of a strengthening of demand through this year. And so that's a really positive sign that we've seen this year compared to last year. Granted, last year's numbers were very similar to where we are now, but we're seeing a trend to the upside, and that's very encouraging to me. Now, when we look at things that are actively for sale and compare last year to this year, we started out in January of last year with 402 homes on the market. And in October of last year, we had 634. This year in January, we had 599, and currently we sit at 805. So we have seen a pretty substantial increase in the number of homes for sale. But when we take that and we begin to analyze, look a minute at last year's total sales, we sold 922 homes. This year, we're going to be about 840 homes. So we'll be down about 9% in the total number of homes sold year over year. But when we begin to look and take that and look at the inventory, we end up with about 11 months of inventory currently. And that is, we would say that is got things slightly skewed to the favor of the buyer. Not very much, but still quite a, strong market. And we take that and you say, Price, how could you say this is a strong market? Well, when we go back and I look at a period from 2014 to 2019, we averaged somewhere in the 750 to 1,000 sales per year. A lot of those years were kind of in the middle to upper 800s, very similar to where we are now. The difference is now the average price on 30A is about 2.5 million. Back then it was 945,000. So we've seen an increase of anywhere, looking at those years where the price moved up each year, but you're somewhere between 1.7 to 2.5 times higher purchase price average than we were back in the times before the COVID boom, if you will. So back then, for those of us that were in the market at that point in time, we thought we had a really strong market and we're enjoying the fruit of that time. It was a great time to be in the industry. Granted, wasn't like it was in the COVID boom when things really rocketed and we entered that hyper part of the cycle. But now we've seen 3 years of decreasing sales where we peaked during that COVID time of about 1,860 sales, then about 1,250, then 922, and this year will be about 840. That's each year from the 2021 peak in the number of sales. So, that sets us up or puts us at a point that has got me really encouraged. I love to see that decreasing in sales kind of getting near a bottom, near a trough. I don't know if the bottom has already happened, if it's 1 day from now or 2 years from now, but we're getting close to the bottom in terms of the number of transactions. And so that, to me, gets me really excited. It excites me because we're getting at a point where it's a very, very good time to be a buyer. Not that it's been a bad time to be a buyer anywhere in the past. Pricing has continued to move up. This year over last year, we're up a little bit over 6%. Per square foot pricing is flat compared to last year. Days on market are up a little bit, but still really low historically speaking. So folks, we've got a really good market to be doing business in. A thing that I've heard from just walking out of the little roundtable discussion we had, there's some concern about interest rates, and so that some people are holding off right now because they think rates may go lower. I can make a case that rates may go up from here. That on the 10-year Treasury, anything can happen in terms of rates. So all of that points towards right now being a great time to be a buyer, to talk with potential buyers about pulling the trigger now. I see that lots of people are ramping up in terms of number of pendings and that they're making, and also conversations they're having with people that are curious about the market. So I think this is just a great time to increase the number of people that we're talking to. Just to segue from that, it's a point where, probably a lot of people that came into the market in the peak have struggled, haven't had the right words to say, the confidence to convey them in a way that would enable or push people into action. So they may be leaving the market. So we could have a lot of people that are orphaned in the market right now. I would just encourage everybody to increase the number of conversations you're having, put as many people into the top of the funnel, go and qualify those people and try to work with the people that understand where we are in the cycle and are willing to move based on that. And so we create our business balance sheet with as many assets as possible, being that people that are ready to move and act and have the capacity to do so, versus people that are indifferent or not ready to do something. Let's try to move those people to the side, focus on these others, and I promise you'll have a great year. The market is there. There's no place like where we live in all of Florida to have all this new infrastructure, all these beautiful communities, sugar white beaches, emerald waters, the hospitality we have here. It's just doesn't exist elsewhere. So there's so many things to be confident about and to have a desire to engage people, to talk about and find out what they'd like and their goals and help them achieve them, whether it's buying or selling in the current conditions today. Thank you so much for listening. If there's anything I can do to be of assistance to you in framing questions or looking at data, because again, the information I've given you today is a composite, an average of all of detached single-family homes in 17 and 18. This market is very localized and specific to any community or little area you're working in. So I would encourage you to do the data research, to look at the stuff in those specific areas where you have sellers and buyers wanting to be. Do the homework, do the studies, so that you can convey confidence when speaking to your customers and increase the likelihood of a successful transaction. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. I appreciate all of you.